moving right on to our spotlight matchup, we are headed to the NBA. The 76ers, who are 15-4, 9-7 on the road, taking on the Nets, who are 20-8, 9-5 at home. Brooklyn, just the 1-point favorite in this one, as we will get to, with a total of 213.5. The Nets are coming into this one having won 3 straight and 4 of their last 5 and sit atop the Eastern Conference. Philly, meanwhile, is coming off back-to-back losses and are 2-3 in their last 5 and are currently 7th in the East. Their last matchup was back on October 22nd, which Brooklyn got the dub, 114-109, and honestly, I don't see that looking any different here tonight. Obviously, this line is so close due to the depleted Nets roster, as 7 players are out due to COVID protocols that include James Harden, LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, Bruce Brown, James Johnson, Javon Carter, and DeAndre Bembry. With all that said, they still have the best player on the floor, and as much as it pains me to say, Kevin Durant is playing some fire basketball right now and is averaging 30 points per game. You know something else that's fire right now for KD? His Twitter game. If you missed it, Steph bought Rolexes for Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala for being the 2 that assisted his 3-pointers the most. KD was in that 3rd spot, so he tweeted the graphic and asked where his Rollie was. Which was pretty funny. Anyway, in comparison, Tyrese Maxey is Philly's leading scorer, averaging 17 a game. Arky, with all this said, how will you be playing this one tonight?
Feel free to call me dumb on this one, okay?
Okay.
I have lauded how much COVID has made me very cautious, especially with the NBA picks. This week, last week even, have been a disaster as far as trying to keep up with COVID, the lines, and what you think is going to happen in the NBA. I still like the Nets -1 here, right? Like, I still kind of like the Nets at home. They're 9-5 at home. They're not a bad home team at all. They're a little better on the road. But Philly is a struggling basketball team right now. And I know that it feels like 75% of the roster or more is gone in Brooklyn. But until you tell me KD is not the guy, and I'm only getting a point in that game, this kind of season is one where Kevin Durant does do things like this. LeBron James, a couple of seasons ago, had that quote. He said, "These shoulders are built to be able to carry the team in situations like this." Yeah, well, maybe. But Kevin Durant's literally doing it. So I think Kevin Durant, despite the fact that he can't bench press the bar, I think he has carried this entire Nets team all season long. I feel like if somebody gets tired, maybe it's around the All-Star break because he's not showing it now.
Yeah.
Give me Kevin Durant until you tell me not to, and that means he has to tell me not to by going 3 or 4 straight games with like 12 points. But he's having an all-world type season. I love Kevin Durant in this spot, and I love the Nets -1. And I know it feels dumb because of the COVID, but I got to. I got to trust KD, the Durantula, or whatever he is now.
Cupcake?
Is he a cupcake? I think he's a cupcake. I trust him a cupcake.
I'm still not over that one, clearly. We are so on the same page today, Arky. The Nets are 12-16 against the spread, and in games they are favored by 1 or more. They are 10-14. Philly is also 12-16 against the spread and have gone 7-7-1 against the spread in games in which they are the 1-point dogs. Like you said, I know the Nets are playing hurt with those 7 players out. They're also coming off 2 games in 3 nights, their last win coming in overtime when the odds were stacked against them against the Raptors. But I'm not ready to count KD out just yet. So I, too, will be taking the Nets at -1 in this one, crossing my fingers for a big performance at Barclays tonight.
I don't really care how big the performance is. Let's just get the 1, right? Like, let's just go
Right.
for it.
I don't even need a big performance. It went with Barclays.
We needed a buzzer beater, even though we were on the same page for the Lakers last night. Needed a buzzer beater to get it. Maybe we do it again tonight.